Knocked down, but not out. Thank you for joining us. Today we have our co-anchor Stephanie Jimenez in Kerrville as search and recovery efforts continue in several parts of the Hill Country.
This Friday will mark 2 weeks since the deadly 4th of July flooding. We will check in with Stephanie, who will have the latest there out of Kerr County in just a bit. But first, we want to get to other news that we are covering today. 48 hours after a man was arrested for capital murder, he was found dead in his jail cell. The Bexar County Medical Examiner says Lorenzo Aleman died by suicide. He was arrested for shooting and killing his girlfriend and nephew Sunday night in the parking lot of a Southeast Side HEB. According to Castle Hills police, who are helping out with the investigation, Aleman was found dead inside a cell last night. KSAT has been keeping records of the deaths of inmates at the Bexar County Jail. According to our count, Aleman, the 8th inmate to die at the jail just this year. We get to learn more about the response to the Robb Elementary School shooting. Today, a Texas appeals court ruled that Uvalde CISD and Uvalde County must hand over their records related to that shooting. KSAT 12 and several other news organizations sued for that release nearly 3 years ago now. It could include reports from the sheriff's office, ballistic reports, and information about the shooter. Laura Prather, who represents the news organizations in this case, talked about the significance of this decision.
What this decision does is it puts those families one step closer to having answers, one step closer to seeking that accountability, and one step closer to moving forward.
One of those family members of the victims called this a landmark decision. Coming up today at 6 o'clock, our KSAT Investigates team explains how the district and the county could still delay the release of these records despite that ruling. And now we continue our coverage of the Hill Country floods. We're learning more information about the victims and the businesses that have also been affected by the tragedy. Our Stephanie Jimenez joining us live now from Kerrville with the latest. Stephanie.
So we know the impact of this tragedy is really becoming clearer by the day. As I was driving into Kerrville today, I saw even more green ribbons outside of homes, outside of businesses. And we know that those ribbons are meant to symbolize and represent all the lives that were lost as a result of this tragedy. We know that this is affecting people directly and also indirectly. You know, there's been so much loss of life, as you just said, Steve. As of right now, the death toll, though, is the same as it was yesterday. 134 people we know have died statewide. Still, the majority of that number is really coming from Kerr County. We know that here, leaders are reporting that 107 people died. That includes 70 adults, 37 children. As for the missing, leaders say that 97 people are still missing. Meanwhile, over in Kendall County, 9 people have died as a result of the floods. And as of today, officials there say that no additional people are considered missing or unaccounted for. Now, happening right now, people in Kerr County are minutes out from a planned protest just outside of the courthouse, and this demonstration is really in response to Kerr County commissioners approving a higher tax rate calculation for flood recovery. Our reporter Avery Everett joins us now for that part of the story. Avery, what are you seeing right now, and what does all of this mean?
Well, Stephanie, people are just starting to arrive here at the Kerr County Courthouse asking for clarity with this calculation. You can see them right behind me. Some are holding signs, and this protest is expected to start in the next 15 minutes. Organizers here are worried any tax rate change could target people hard hit by the floods. So I want to first recap what happened at that county commissioners court meeting on Monday. Leaders decided that the tax collector could use a special method to calculate property tax rate limits for Kerr County, lateral roads, and Lake Ingram Estates Road District. That means the voter-approved tax rate will be calculated using a higher percentage. They're able to do this because of the disaster declaration and Texas property tax code. The county judge says this will allow for more cash flow management while the county waits for possible funding from FEMA and other federal agencies. In the meeting on Monday, the tax collector emphasized the vote does not mean the tax rate will definitely go up. He said that's up to commissioners to decide through the budget process.
The difference is not to pad a budget or anything like that. It's for the unforeseen costs that have arisen out of the disaster.
Again, this is really just step one. The decision made on Monday sets the method of calculation, not the actual rate. The tax collector said he'd have more updates at the next county commissioners court meeting. We'll continue to follow this story. Reporting live, I'm Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Avery, thank you for that live report. You know, there's a word that we've been hearing around Kerrville more and more often in the last week, and that word is rebuilding. We know that families and homeowners, businesses need help doing just that. We want to show you one restaurant that needs a lot of help. It's the 1011 Bistro restaurant right here in Kerrville. It's on Guadalupe. Its backyard is basically the Guadalupe River where we saw that flooding, and the damage that you see there today, if you can believe it, is really nothing compared to how it was just after the flood. We spoke with the business owner, Tomas Valdez, and he knows it's going to be months before he can fix everything, but he's relieved because he found out that Lift Fund, a nonprofit based out of San Antonio, just approved a grant for him to help his business.
Some things that are more urgent right now and other things that can wait. So right now it's just paying the last of the bills that I had. You know, I still have to pay sales tax for June and, you know, payroll and stuff like that.
And it's the indirect impact on some of these businesses that maybe 2-3 months down the road, they're going to see a decrease in revenues from less tourism or the local people not going out and spending money like they did.
So we know that Lift Fund just confirmed that it raised $1.6 million for businesses affected by the flood. It's basically helping businesses in two ways. One, through its grant program, and it also has a zero interest loan program. We're told that 60 business owners have already applied. A majority of them have already been approved. And once they are approved, they get their money in just a few days. There is so much more to talk about as we discuss the work that Lift Fund is doing to really lift up businesses that have been affected by this horrific flood. We're going to talk more about that during the news at 6, but in a few minutes, we're going to take you to yet another community that's been affected by all this flooding, and that is the community of Kendall County. Now, right now, where we are in Kerr County, I'm sure you can hear a lot of the wind here behind me, so I'm going to send things over to our meteorologist, Adam Caskey. Adam, is the flood something that we're seeing all around the Hill Country and San Antonio, and is it going to continue to be this sunny all week?
A lot of sunshine going forward. That's the nice thing. I think it's the first time in 6 years that I've said it's nice to see a blank radar screen all day. Nothing but sunshine, and that's going to be the trend here going forward. A slight chance of a few showers on Friday, and that's because we're watching this cluster of thunderstorms and energy right near and along the Gulf Coast, basically stretching from about New Orleans over toward Pensacola. And the National Hurricane Center has this flagged at about a 40% chance of turning into our next tropical depression or even tropical storm. I think odds are even lower than that. It's going to be tough for this to develop into anything. It doesn't take much, though, to become a tropical depression. I mean, well, like 40-mile-per-hour winds or something. Anyway, that even if it did, this would all arc away from us. However, I do think some of the remnant and upper-level energy and moisture will be thrown our way, giving us a 20% chance of showers on Friday. That's about it. Otherwise, sunny, dry, and back to more standard summertime weather for us around here. We'll get into that in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Adam. Let's go to Highway 90 at Zarzamora right now, and you can see the eastbound lanes coming towards us. You can see there's a big rig and another couple of vehicles pulled off to the side there. You can also see a Hero vehicle telling people to get around. Traffic is still moving, but one lane closed at this hour.
Back to school season is around the corner, and you have a few hours left to help out in a Stuff the Bus event this evening. It's happening at the Pearl. You can help fill a real school bus with brand new backpacks until 8 o'clock tonight. There's a sweet bonus, too. The first 100 people to donate a backpack get a free treat. The Stuff the Bus event is happening now until 8 p.m. at 307 Pearl Parkway. That's right near the Stable Hall.
All right, need a job? Let's look ahead to tomorrow. San Antonio ISD hosting a career fair. They're looking to hire elementary, middle, and high school educators for the 2025-2026 school year. There will be in-person interviews and on-site hiring of teachers and instructional assistants. The district especially looking for special education and bilingual or dual language educators. If you're interested, make sure to take at least 6 copies of your resume. The job fair will be held at Brackenridge High School, again, tomorrow from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
If you want to stay up to date with all of our KSAT coverage but aren't sure exactly how, we want to hear from you about that. KSAT 12 is hosting a town hall later on this month at Santikos Casablanca. We'll be discussing how to receive all our KSAT content, any signal issues you might have, and we'll also be taking questions from the community. Scan the QR code you see here on your screen to sign up for a seat. This is a free event happening next Wednesday, July 23rd from 7 to 8 p.m. You can find more information on our website at ksat.com.
Our Stephanie Jimenez joins us now again from Kerrville to talk about help coming a very long way into the Hill Country and also the latest downstream in Kendall County. Steph.
Yeah, still ahead, we highlight more of that support that's coming to the Hill Country, and it's not just coming from fellow Texans. Listen to this. One group traveling 1,300 miles to the Hill Country to support people who need it, and that's up right after the break. Welcome back. We continue our coverage now from the Hill Country as we continue to look at the devastation from the July 4th floods. So we've been talking a lot about Kerr County, but now we want to give you an update on Kendall County, where leaders say that 9 bodies have been recovered. And although officials say that no additional people are considered missing or unaccounted for, they still continue to search that area. We know that most of the fire departments over in Kendall County are staffed by volunteers, and crews working around the Guadalupe River have been working around the clock.
They still have full-time jobs, just like all of us do, and they've given their heart and soul from day one, round the clock. We have a lot of volunteers that have been going nonstop for 8, 10, 12 days now that have made this their priority.
Extraordinary work that we're seeing everywhere. So many people have been so selfless in this. We're seeing local organizations, neighbors giving back. In fact, today we met a youth group from Orange County, California. They drove more than 1,300 miles to bring much needed supplies over in Kendall County. We learned that the group called SCJ USA asked people at the Comfort Resource Center before they went there what supplies they needed. And so today they delivered some of those supplies, $36,000 worth of donations. And some of those supplies include things like medical kits, liquid IV hydration drink mix, also long tube socks. The group also went to Centerpoint and visited the San Antonio Food Bank in order to make donations. And speaking of the San Antonio Food Bank, we know that they've been a great resource to the people here. Our Stephanie Cerna went to visit to see the efforts that they're undertaking over in Kerrville.
We are here at the Kerrville Presbyterian Church, and this is the site where the San Antonio Food Bank will be hosting an emergency distribution. Now they're going to be bringing a truck back here in the back parking lot, and that's where volunteers are going to be handing out these boxes, and this is to anyone who needs the help. We caught up with some of the volunteers at the San Antonio Food Bank yesterday who are getting things ready for that distribution. Knowing that, maybe some of the things that you've been helping with here will help in Kerr County.
Oh, yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Great, great. I know that all the food banks across the state of Texas are going to be doing the most that they possibly can. It's a matter of getting it distributed and getting it to the right people, and that's going to take a community effort.
A lot of people have been watching this on the news, and they feel like they would want to do something. At this point, how can people help?
What's needed now, I'd say we're starting to really look around the corner to more of a mid and long-term response. At the food bank, we have a list of 12 most wanted. And it's the basics from diapers to pet food to all of the food things you would think. Staples like rice and beans, pastas, canned veggies, canned fruits, peanut butter, all the basics.
And you can take those donations to the San Antonio Food Bank or any Goodwill location.
The truck will park right over there.
Again, a lot of those donations will be headed to Kerrville Presbyterian Church, and members of the church say they're ready to help, but they're also thankful for all the help from the San Antonio Food Bank.
It's so nice when somebody comes to the door and tells their story and have the resources to help. It's very heartwarming.
And if you'd like to make a monetary donation, or if you'd like to donate some of your time, you can go to the website safoodbank.org. And again, that emergency distribution happening on Saturday at 9 a.m. We are in Kerrville. Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
So there you have it. More help continues to pour into the Hill Country, and we're going to have more information on how you can get involved when we see you at 6. Myra?
All right, Stephanie Jimenez live in Kerrville. Stephanie, thank you. Looking ahead to tomorrow, Comal County is expected to test their high water warning sirens all day long. So if you hear those sirens on Thursday, it is a test. Comal County leaders are spreading the word now to try to avoid any panic or any confusion tomorrow.
Take a live look outside right now, and this is July starting to act like it. Adam Katz.
That's a good way to put it. And you notice that haze in the sky today, a little extra haze because of some Saharan dust that's back into place. And with a lack of clouds, we can actually see that dust and see that haze. I anticipate it to stick around into early tomorrow and then be out of here for about 5 or 6 days. Let's get to our main weather headlines here. We're still watching that slight chance of development in the Gulf. We talked about that earlier. I have very low confidence in that becoming anything consequential. Rain, small chance on Friday, especially in some eastern counties and closer to Houston. Nearing triple digits in the extended forecast as we get into next week. July being more July-like, as Steve just mentioned. So here's the big picture, and you see the showers and storms, the typical afternoon pop-ups in Mexico over the mountains, the mountainous terrain helping to lift the air and create those. They're not going to be drifting our way today. Even the blow-off clouds are going the opposite direction. What we're watching is this area of energy and cluster of storms in the northern Gulf and basically right along parts of the Gulf Coast. Here's the upper level support with it right here in the central Gulf. Today, we have the upper level high nosing its way in. That's going to move a little bit and help steer some of that energy our way by Friday. Most of the rain, however, is going to be parts of Louisiana and then on into Houston. Around here, yes, we could have a few showers Friday afternoon and evening, especially in some of our eastern counties, but most of the rain associated with that cluster of storms is going to stay in East Texas. 95 Leon Springs, Shirts right now, 95 Eagle Pass at 91. Birthday boy Brian in Bulverde checking in at 94. New Braunfels 97 and Lavernia 99. No triple digits on our map locally except Port SA, the lone triple digit temperature. Temperatures falling down to 93 at 7 o'clock. By 9 o'clock, we're at 86. And tomorrow's going to be similar temperature wise. We start the day at 75. 97 in the afternoon, a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day, and we'll be in the mid to upper 90s. And then next week, wouldn't surprise me if we get back to that triple digit mark.
Birthday boy Brian in Bulverde.
You say that 5 times.
Yeah,
fast.
brilliant.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Brian. Thanks, Adam.
All right, Spurs continue with the Summer League, but they will be without Dylan Harper. Mary.
They will, yes. We'll tell you why the Spurs say that they're shutting down Harper for the rest of Summer League. It's a good thing, though, so stay tuned for that. And one-on-one, we go with 210 BAM as we gear up for a legendary weekend for San Antonio Boxers after the break. San Antonio boxing history is on the line this weekend. 3 area boxers are fighting, and we are featuring all of them on KSAT Sports Now this week at 7 o'clock. Yesterday, we showed our 3-part interview with Jesse Bam Rodriguez. 210 Bam is looking to defend his title and unify on Saturday up in Frisco. His fight will be streamed live on DAZN.
It came about because Cafu, he beat Tanaka, so he became a champion, the WBO champion, and we're looking to unify. So the fight approached us, and we said yes. So that's how that happened. But as far as winning this fight, I just got to go out there and be me. I don't got to do anything different. I know he's a dangerous opponent. He has power, so just be a little bit more cautious, more defensive. But I'm going to go out there and just give a bad performance.
You can read more about this fight on KSAT Sports Now, the page on KSAT.com. Tonight at 7, we'll feature our one-on-one with Mario Barrios. It'll be Barrios versus 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao this weekend in Las Vegas. Dylan Harper has shown the Spurs what he's needed to show, and now the number 2 overall pick in this summer's draft will sit out the remainder of Summer League, the team announced today. In 2 outings in Las Vegas, Harper totaled 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals after averaging 22.5 minutes per game. Harper missed the Spurs' first 4 Summer League games due to minor groin soreness. However, the decision to shut Harper down didn't have to do with the rookie's injury status. Harper reflecting on what his 2 first pro games were like.
The atmosphere here is crazy. I think when I was here, it's different when you're watching it like from afar, and then when you're on the court, like we were on the court, you can hear the crowds into it no matter what game it is. Like it's just unbelievable. So just probably the crowd, the energy, and just honestly just how competitive it is.
The Spurs are one of 8 teams still undefeated in Las Vegas. Their next game is tomorrow. Coming up in sports at 6 o'clock, one Tybee soccer player remembers the legacy of his coach, Reese Sunker, who died in the Texas Hill Country floods, and how the missions plan to help raise money for those affected by the devastating floods and help restore the Ingram Little League fields. We'll be right back.
SA Picks back this year. It's a contest where you nominate top businesses, from restaurants to dog groomers to plumbing, air conditioning services, and more. Nominations now open. It's going to run until August 1st. That's for the nominees. We're going to announce the finalists for each category on August 19th. Finalist voting will open until August 20th and September 12th. You can vote for each category once a day. Then we'll announce the winners in late September. We have the full list of categories you'll be able to vote on available right now on KSAT.com. Just search for SA Picks.
Adam.
Look at this. Look at these numbers. It's not your typical July. Rainfall total since July 1st. Ingram, 11.59 inches. Lakey, 10.65. Garner State Park, over 9.5 inches. Just astounding numbers for July here in San Antonio. We'll be talking more about the Saharan dust and how long it's going to stick around at 6.
All right, thanks, Adam. And thank you for watching the News at 5.
World News up next.